Well, the biggest traction of the 2023 elections has been on the presidential polls, but arguably of more importance and realistically of better and greater influence is what decisions Nigerians make on who represents them in the parliament. For many years, political analysts have argued that Nigeria's biggest drawback has been its representative democracy. Now, despite having 2 chambers of the National Assembly and 469 legislators, Nigerians still hardly feel represented enough. Now, this reality of local and national representation, dire as it may seem, is also the one locals can correct more easily. Now, as the presidential election takes all the attention, perhaps it's high time we focused on our ears and eyes at the national and state assemblies. Today, our focus on representative politics, and my guest is here live in the studios, Tari Taylaur, who's going for the State House of Assembly candidates for the Youth Party, Eti-Osa 1, Lagos, here in Southwest Nigeria. Good to see you, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Sulaiman.
You know, the importance of representative democracy is something that I'm happy that you've always been about. You've done quite a number of appearances on radio, television, and spoken to quite a number of people. Do people now get the gist, the meat, that look, the most important aspect of our democracy is the legislative arm, the legislature. Otherwise, whatever we're doing all amounts to naught if we don't have more good people who understand it in that chamber.
Yeah, definitely. Several factors have made that part of the conversation recently, especially the rejection of local government autonomy. So that put the conversation at the forefront of public discourse, and people started, interrogating that. The fact that before the National Assembly can, ratify anything, there has to be concurrence with the state houses, about 2/3 of the state houses of assembly. So the decisions that are being made in those houses actually matter. Many times we don't even know. We don't know what is happening at the plenary sessions. We don't know what bills are under review. We have no idea. But now I'm glad that people have started waking up to the fact that, hold on, a lot of decisions that are affecting my everyday life are being made in that house. And number one, I probably don't even know who is representing me. Every time I go out campaigning, Sulaiman, I found that one of the opening, conversation starters is, do you know your representative? Yeah. 80% of the time, they don't know. They've never known. Never known.
You see, I'm happy we'll bring this conversation because it's really important. And the importance of this is, as you started off by reminding us, we're Africans. And I recall then an African proverb that goes, a child does not, spit out something sweet. I said, but the legislators have just done that, saying that no, we do not want grassroots democracy, and it was thrown out. So it comes back to what you're gunning for.
Yeah.
It works only with numbers. So if it's just you,
yes,
it's still not enough.
It's not enough, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a crack in the wall, because at the end of the day, politics is consensus building. Me in the house, I can be more effective than 10 people who are not skilled in the art of building consensus. So me in the house and my approach to working with people, which is very collaborative, I feel like I can make a lot more impact, even though I'm a minority, because my perspective is actually beyond party lines. I connect with like minds. At the end of the day, what is the goal? Deliver public goods, deliver public service, improve quality of life of our constituents. So if there are other people in the house who are that way minded, there's no way I will not align with them and work together.
Let me take it off you. You said beyond party lines. I just had conversations with Kenneth Okonkwo of the Labour Party, and time was before now. Everyone would say, Tari or Peter Obi, you don't have the structure. It has to be APC, it has to be PDP. But we woke up now and we realize that Nigerians are speaking of candidates, speaking of new entrants, and speaking. So it comes to asking how much of the awareness do they now have, knowing full well that, look, it's not about political parties as we
Anymore.
yes
Yeah.
anymore. So it's about those we know, those who live amongst us, those who live in our communities, those who have been tested in other spheres of the endeavor. So how is it? I need to get a sense of the conversation you're having with your constituents. Yes.
Okay, so you know, it as flawed as the political party systems are, we can't rule out the political parties. We can't, because that is the democracy we operate. You cannot come out independent. You need a political party. Political parties are platforms. In fact, I actually say jokingly that they are special purpose vehicles. At the end of the day, you need a political party to get you to the people, to say, hey, I want to represent you. I cannot go just as Tari without the platform of a party to say I want to be the representative for Eti-Osa 1. So political parties are important. Yes, we need a lot of reform in the way we practice, you know, politics within the parties now, but it's a work in progress. However, when it comes to structure, we're starting to think differently about structure now. And I will give credit to the obedient movements. You know, they are the ones who have sort of like shifted and, you know, challenged the traditional, the conventional idea of what structure is. And as formidable as APC and PDP are, and especially in Lagos, APC, as formidable as they are, they also have their weaknesses. What they call their structures, what their structures are. And trust me, I've seen those structures move. I've seen those structures in action. They are formidable. They are organized. They know what they're doing, okay? They have this thing on lockdown. But I have also seen their weaknesses. And we as the smaller parties who are operating, you know, in our grassroots level to win the heart of our constituencies, we know what those weaknesses are. And we also know what our own strengths are. So every day, we sharpen our advantage and use that. I mean, we don't have the war chest that they have. We don't have the state power that they have. But we have an advantage that we know how to use to get to the people and get their vote. So it's quite an interesting election cycle. And the end will speak at the end of the day.
You know we're getting close to the end, and a whole lot has been happening. First, the APC candidate is not too excited. He thinks that some policies and some actions lately are done to thwart his ambition. And El-Rufai has also spoken, saying that, yes, there are some people in the presidency who don't want our candidate. Now, and the presidency has spoken, saying that, look, all what we want is free, fair, credible election.
Yeah.
So how does that sit with you now that you know that irrespective of what we think and see, the president is saying, perhaps you know how he started, look, I'm for everybody and I'm for no one. Perhaps that's what he's saying now that he's going. Didn't I say I'm for everybody and I'm for no one? So how excited are you knowing full well that there wouldn't be any sort of interference? You're going into this election without any interference from an incumbent or outgoing.
Come on, Sulaiman. We know there would always be interference.
No, there will always be.
Like, seriously, there would always be interference. You can't rule that out, okay? There would always be interference. But we have more confidence. You know, I ran in 2021 at the local government elections, and trust me, that was the, I mean, the irregularities were blatant. It was too much, okay? There was too much impunity, even though that's a state-controlled elections, but still. But now there's a difference, and the president's conviction is giving people a lot of confidence because we believe him. I actually believe President Buhari when he says that he's committed to a fair and free election. I do, because, and I see the policies, I see the decisions that are being made, you know, to enforce that. So it makes us trust that, yes, the president as the commander-in-chief and as the principal officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is committed to seeing this process, to make sure that this process is, you know, what it should be. I'm sort of, I believe that, okay? But at the same time, I know our people. They would always find a way.
That is deep. And speaking as an African, I know our people.
Let's not underestimate them. For every for every, how do I put it, for every innovation or for every advantage we think we have in the electoral process, I'm sure they have 10 ways to go around it or to counter it. They are that intelligent, you know what I mean? But there are several other factors. Apart from the president's commitment, there's also the people of Nigeria who are the most important stakeholders in this election process. There's a shift. There's been a shift in the way we see, elections. We understand that the outcome of these elections is directly proportional to the quality of life we are going to be living in the next 4 to 8 years. Nigerians have suddenly woken up to that reality, and I think they are going to use these elections as it should be used. So there's a lot of participation. I mean, come on, it has become a civic duty to have your PVC. This happened in the space of 8 or 9 months. It has become like people now, if you're sitting in a room and one person doesn't have a PVC, everybody is asking that person, like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have a PVC? So that shift in our mindset is going to, be heavily expressed in the way we are going to vote in these elections.
Yeah, so what Lagos is to Nigeria, the economic capital of the country, I understand a part of Eti-Osa 1 is the economic capital of Lagos State, and also by some extension
not
Nigeria.
Just Lagos,
yes.
West Africa.
So now let's talk about your constituency, Eti-Osa 1, and what lapses you think you would be feeling, should you get elected as a lawmaker?
Okay. So when I get elected as the representative for Eti-Osa 1 by the grace of God, I'm going to give my constituents a much better deal than they have ever had. First of all, I would be their representative. They will see me, they will know me, they will have access to me. In fact, in my campaign, I have already started operating an open door public facing arrangement. You can walk into my office right now. My office is in the center, of Lekki, of that Lekki area, the heart of the commercial space. People walk in, people come to me with their issues, people come to me. I've already started operating in the manner that I will operate as their representative, because I don't want it to be a promise. I want to demonstrate to them. I am already demonstrating to them what this representation is going to look like. So that, first and foremost, I would be the representative that they actually have, that they actually can access. And then secondly, the first gift I'm going to give my constituents in our new relationship when I become their representative, clean environment, cleanse the environment, is a low-hanging fruit, a tangible life improvement, Sulaiman, and I'm going to give that to them. Within the first 6 months, I will facilitate a cleansing of our environment.
Does that involve clean, potable drinking water?
Unfortunately, no. But it's over time, it will lead to that. Because think about the water that we drink. Our gutters are filthy, and the wastewater eventually seeps into the same sources that the drinking water will come from. So we're not doing ourselves any favor. So it's a ripple effect. And at the end of the day, when we sanitize the environment, it will have its expression in our health. We will be healthier. We will be clearer minded. We will be more productive. We will have more dignity as a people. And that's the first thing I want to do for my constituency. And it's possible, Sulaiman, because I'm already doing it on a micro level. And with the same model that I have tested and proven over the last 3 to 4 years, I will just amplify it, okay, all around the Eti-Osa 1. Clean environment, dignity of life, improvement of the quality of life for my constituency. So those two things first. And then we will now go further. Youth employment. Almost 70% of my constituents are between 18 and 35. We need to engage them, okay? I'm already listening to them right now. I know their challenges. I'm hearing their aspirations. But as their representative, I want to go out there and seek, the funding, the partnerships, the opportunities, the capacity building, trainings and all that to bring to the constituency.
And these are all there.
These are all there. It's there. But you see the problem, there's money waiting to come into Eti-Osa. Okay, there are opportunities waiting to come to Eti-Osa. There's development, investment waiting to come into Eti-Osa. But most times people don't find trusted offices they can work through. So I want to build a very strong constituency office that will be a gateway into, Eti-Osa 1, where anybody with something of value that can improve the quality of life and make, bring development into my constituency, I will be there to facilitate it, to make it happen, and to make sure it's done excellently, accountably, and, above board. Because first and foremost, I think it's the way we see ourselves that matters, okay? As the leader, as the representative for my people, I'm committed to, I want them to be their best selves at every point in time. So the governance is going to be very personal, because when you listen to them, you understand who they are, and then we can work together, to find a way in solving. I'm not promising that I would do everything, but I will always do something to move them forward to where they are. And I have the experience, I have the innovative mind, I have the energy, and I'm ready. I've been prepared for this.
I love that you brought that to the fore. I have the experience. Experience counts. And as a woman, that's not your first time. You've always worked as a volunteer, as someone who's heavy and big on having a clean environment. Let's speak more about the challenges, and how you've been able to surmount these. And I'm probably sure that's a young, lady out there on the continent watching you, knowing full well that you've been consistent. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tari, you've been consistent. So what are those challenges? You have an office now, and people will walk in and say, these are some of my aspirations. So you want to share some of them?
Yes. In fact, on Monday, we hosted, and when I say we, I mean, well, I led it, but my youth party, and we partnered with Lekki Post, the first ever Eti-Osa Creative Summit. Yes. And I told you that
Creative Summit.
A Creative Summit. And the goal, the purpose of this was because we've identified almost 70% of the constituency between 18 and 35. What do these people want? A lot of them are looking to get into the creative space. They have skills. They are artists. They are producers. They are actors. They are graphic designers. They are fashion designers. They want to express their creative ability, but more importantly, they want to monetize it. They want it to be a career for them. They want to have a livelihood out of it, but there is a major, disconnect, because where are the opportunities? Where is the funding? Where is the training? Where are all those things? So that summit was a forum to bring the funders, the investors, the bankers, the grant makers, and the distribution and content monetization people together with the creative talent into one room, so that by the time every creative professional is living there, they are living with knowledge, with opportunities, with access. They know where to look. They know how to go about seeking the funding that they need for their creative businesses. And we achieved that excellently. The feedback has been crazy. We have to do more. We have to do more and more of that. And that's just one sector. You see what I mean? We want to do a lot more of those.
I really would want to follow you through on that. And your election is March 11.
Yes.
So we wish you well.
Thank you.
Well, Tari Taylaur, going for the House of Assembly here in Lagos State, representing the Youth Party for Eti-Osa 1 Lagos constituency. Many thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you.